All right, we're live on Facebook, but we'll give everybody a little second, brother.
All right, whenever you're ready.
We got 4 viewers already on Facebook. We're taking off. People are on time and ready for us today. That's what I'm talking about. It's a beautiful Saturday morning. Give everybody an opportunity to get on here. Thank you guys for joining us. Those of you that are here with us already, welcome to the Influencers. We'll have a formal introduction in just a second. This is powered by the Cincinnati Herald, the amazing individuals at the Cincinnati Herald, the award-winning national Black press. Let's see. I'll let everybody hop on here for a second before we get started. I want to give everybody an opportunity. We're going to start on time today, okay? We're going to be respectful of everyone's time. We got a major man in the building, so I want to be respectful of everyone's time today. But want to make sure we get this in and get this in this morning. I really feel like outside is open. I feel like I've seen my people in motion. I've seen people with smiles. I've seen the sun gleaming. So super, super, super happy about that. We got people jumping on. I got some individuals texting me, telling me that they're hopping on. So give us a hot second. We're gonna start at about 11:02. Give everybody an opportunity to hop on here. Thanks for joining us. This is the Influencers, powered by the Cincinnati Herald. And unfortunately, since we're streaming on Facebook, I wish we could like play music. They need to kind of work that out where maybe we could, you know, pay a little fee and I could play some licensed music on, you know, on my Facebook or through the stream. So maybe you can give us some advice on that today too, Jason, because I know you the tech.
So like, are they still cutting the music?
Yeah, they'll mute it on the
licensed music.
Yeah.
Yeah. How's my volume? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, I hear you really well.
Okay, cool. Cool.
All right, we're gonna get started. Give me a hot second to pull up my question list. Man, I've been pumped for today, truly. Today's gonna be awesome. The influencers making this transition to virtual has really been an amazing experience. We were previously on WDBZ The Buzz. So being on this virtual platform with Zoom is, of course, a new norm, but truly an opportunity to have a lot of people be able to listen in too. Because although WDBZ The Buzz reaches a lot of different people, AM radio can only go so far. So, you know, we have to find ways where we can connect in these virtual spaces. And I know we're going to dig deep into that. So give me a hot second to pull up my information. I want to make sure I include everything that we need to talk about today. All right.
And I apologize in advance for any background noise. You know, we're on the road today, but
hey, no,
you know, like you said, with the virtual platform, at least we can be available at any moment in time. So
right. All righty, guys. Well, welcome to the Influencers. We usually have Let's Talk by Khalid playing on WDBZ The Buzz. Unfortunately, we're on Facebook Live, so we can't play it, or else they will mute our audio on the recap. And we want to make sure everybody can actually tune in, hear everything, and be a part of this conversation, whether you're tuning in now or you're tuning in after. So my name is Jourdan Ivory. I am part of a multitude of different things around the city, program director at the African American Chamber, a part of the influencers team with the Cincinnati Herald, as well as I own my own digital marketing firm here in Cincinnati called Kingdom Digital Media Services. I am all things tech. And if you have tuned into the influencers before, you will really know that we are truly a breath of knowledge and truly the millennials making those changes. And the thing is that we have to talk in plain text. We have to talk in these true terms where everyone can understand, because we are now all being forced into the digital age. Whether you were abstaining or whether you were really all the way about it, you are now forced to use different parts of your technology. And the thing is that now we have the influencers on Zoom, and now we can even forward this Zoom onto Facebook Live. So I appreciate everyone being here this morning. It is 11:03. We started on time. Okay, it's bright. The sun is out. It's warm outside here in Cincinnati, Ohio. I see Jason Hightower, our special guest, is on the move today, and we are super excited about that too, because we want everyone to be in your place of peace today. I want you guys to be excited and happy because outside is almost open, okay? Almost open. Make sure you have your mask on though. Jan Michelle and McCurney will beat me up if I don't tell you, okay? Make sure you have your mask up, okay? 6 feet apart, right? Social distancing, you gotta be on point with that. So I give you guys today somebody who's very near and dear to me, one of my more recent friends, but truly somebody that I look up to. I've seen Jason doing major things, jumping into the accelerator spaces, doing major things in terms of panel spaces. He hit me to some money stuff that I wasn't even really kind of hit to, in just some short talks and talking to me about his brotherhood with even High Rise, a group that he's with. So Jason is a multitude of things that I'm not going to try to spiel off his resume, okay? But the major thing is that my man is the CTO of one of the biggest maybe the biggest black petroleum companies in the nation, if not the whole globe. And the thing is that as I was thinking about who my guest was going to be today, it was a no-brainer. Because as we talk these virtual spaces, I have only had real remote talk about virtual learning experiences, staffing with Jason Hightower. So with my short spiel, okay, I give you the amazing Jason Hightower. Jason, tell us about yourself, man.
Well, I love interviews like this because, like you said, we have a new friendship, and, you're talking to somebody that you can relate to and that you can see personalized with. Just to give a short introduction, I am the CIO, not CTO, of Hightowers Petroleum Company. Titles are just a thing, though, but pretty much I'm it when it comes to technical infrastructure, discovery of new projects, and purchase and implementation for Hightowers Petroleum. And just a little history on Hightowers Petroleum. We're a third generation Black-owned business. We have downline distribution for wholesale and gas and diesel products across the country. Some of our customers are Duke Energy, so generation and power generation to keep America's lights on all up and down the East Coast. GM, every GM car that goes out on the lot gets 4 gallons of our gas. And we're handling this large-scale logistics operation with not only 50 to 70 people at any given time. So doing $450 million in revenue last year. That'll take a little bit of a slump this year. But also we support services for 2 other commercial construction companies, Highmark, one of which I'm a co-owner, and HP Energy Co. They focus on energy efficiency constructions. And also we have a partnership with a woman-owned fuel distributor, Next Gen Fuel, which is owned by Bernita McCann Hightower. So that's just a little bit about me. Professionally, personally, I have several hobbies, one of which is gaming, something that I share with Jourdan. I'm also a former producer. Now I'm just a hobbyist, because I don't get paid for it. I do it for the love, for the fun. I definitely give out music for free. I allow people into my creative space for free to learn. And, beyond that, I'm married. I have a lovely wife. Her name is Jason Hightower. She's a certified behavior analyst and works with children with autism. So that's just a little peek into my life. There's a ton more like there is to everybody else. But just give me the short. And that's it.
Most definitely. I think that a lot of times we haven't had this opportunity to be this personable with people. I think that in this digital space, you now have this opportunity to truly flourish and kind of connect. The productivity, of course, with remote working is super high, but also just in terms of your own personal learning, your own personal growth, and that expansion of what you can do kind of is flexed at that time, flexing that mental muscle, right? That time together. Let's talk about the virtual space. Let's dive into it, man. Let's dive into this. You guys have a physical location. We all have seen the sign coming down 75. Okay, we know Hightowers Petroleum, right? We know HP. We've seen it. Okay, and you guys are very active in the community in a multifaceted way. However, how did you guys go from being in person, being those personable customer service people that you are as well, being that upstanding Black business? How did you go from being in person in the physical space to then giving that virtual experience to not only your customer, but to your staff?
So Hightowers is really a 24/7 business. So there's always a chance that somebody may get a call at 3 in the morning saying, we need a load of fuel. Or they may get a call at, 5 a.m. or during the day, but there's really no limit to the amount of time that we have to provide customer service. So really it was about getting the mindset change and saying everything that you're doing after hours is satisfactory to what you're doing during hours, except for a few tweaks. So let's make those changes and then continue to give that great customer service in the evening time that we've been giving all day long. And so people kind of adhere more to that because they don't have to take a full day out of work if they step out of the office. Now we've just given them the green light to say, hey, you're still at work, you still have the ability. And people are able to handle the things that they need to handle every day. They're kind of enjoying it. Productivity is up. And that's a testament to, having a great staff, having great planning in place, and really having great infrastructure.
I think, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Sorry, my end cut out for a second. I think that a lot of us had to be reactive instead of most definitely prepare for something like this. So when you're in a space where you're already kind of operating in that fashion, right? It's easy to be prepared. How do you think that the productivity has increased? Do you think that you guys are doing more now that people are at home and now the focus is more so in this virtual space? Do you think that you guys are getting more? Are you guys getting more traction with that? Because I know you guys are releasing new products. I know you guys have new stuff coming out. So it's like, how are things really? Are they revved up, or do you think that they're kind of at the same pace?
So I definitely think things are revved up for us. On a global scale, everything kind of shut down for a moment, but things still needed fuel. So we kind of kept up, but then the prices were wacky for fuel. Like you've seen gas prices out here, they shot more. People weren't ordering as much. But I think that we picked up more productive hours. So like I was saying before, say you lived out of town and you had to come to Hightowers and you had a doctor's appointment at like 10 or 11, why would you travel an hour in the morning to show up and then have to go an hour back to then have your appointment? And then, maybe PTO isn't set up where you can take half days, you got to take a full day. So now you lost a day of productivity all because in your mind and in the mind of your managers, et cetera, you couldn't log in to your work, go to your appointment, come back, log in to your work. So we're just picking up lost time by having that ability to reach reach in. And, 10 years ago, the type of tools that we have today, they didn't exist at the price they exist for today. So, we're really taking advantage of the fact that bigger companies like Microsoft paid for all the research and development for us small guys to be able to make this little commitment financially and really eat off of their back, I'm not saying that's parasitic or anything, but
Sure.
They pay the money. They pay the money. So,
right.
All the research and development is done, and the subscriptions are getting cheaper and cheaper to be more agile and have more access. And more people should look into it because coronavirus or not, accessibility increases your agility so that you can be more flexible with your customers.
And that's the truth. I can say from the chamber aspect, we've been able to reach people that would never have been able to attend an event before, and be in our space and have that experience. Now, I was going to say feel those vibes, but just to have the whole full force experience, because it's really more than we can ever estimate, even in terms of our friendship. We didn't know we had so much in common as we met, and it grew, right? And the thing is that we now, of course, we have a remote connection because we can game together. So we pro game, I pro game. Jason will never commit to that title, but we play Call of Duty and I stream, and it's really kind of neat because that's something I never would have done before. So tell me, how do small business owners and individuals like ourselves that have a breadth of background, right? That we have good jobs, and we do great things in the community. How do small business owners like ourselves do these things and create that generational wealth in this virtual and digital space?
So, that's a question that if I had the answer, definitive answer for, I'd be the man. Building generational wealth, it definitely has some pillars, but a bit of it is luck and fortune. But you have to be prepared to take on that luck and fortune, and you won't ever get there if you're not throwing yourselves into those spaces where innovation is occurring. So, be present in all your chambers, all of your incubators. I mean, that's where the new information is flowing on a consistent basis. And if something catches and, you find your niche in whatever space it is, or you start, throwing some brain share towards a new space, like I was in Washington, D.C. at the DOE, and they were talking about a big push for STEM. So there are children right now learning what some of us adults are really getting into in an early age, learning the code, learning different languages. I know one right now that just came out, Python. If somebody was to learn this language, and really you can do it through Google. There are a lot of free resources, YouTube, etc. You can come out of high school making, close to six figures, depending on the opportunity that you get, all because you know how to speak this language and apply it with critical thinking. So, you just got to get out there, start talking to people that are actually making the moves. People are willing to speak to small business owners, especially in that capacity. So, share your story, share your interests, see if there's something that connects and move forward.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that. You're a young man. Let me start off by that. But I feel like, I see the moves that HP is making, and I know I talk to you constantly about how I'm just impressed. You guys are present in the digital space. I see you guys everywhere, whether it's Steve, whether it's Jason, whether any and all of y'all, I see you guys. And the thing is that you're present. And I feel like even though I'm not in Middletown, I'm not pulling down 75 as much that way, right? I still feel you guys all the way in the core of Cincinnati. I feel you guys everywhere. And the thing is that you guys aren't just a national company, you're global. So how do you guys manage, and of course it's 24/7, but how do you guys manage the capacity, and how do you continue to, because you guys are continuing to introduce new products, how do you scale so efficiently and so intentionally?
So, like I said before, the big guys are paying for the infrastructure for us little guys to get on subscription use, and we're able to scale like that. We're an Office 365 shop. Office 365 scales by user. We have an ERP with PDI, and for anybody that doesn't know what an ERP is, enterprise resource planning software. Pretty much your accounting software that can also do like inventory tracking. We buy the systems and we make the investment on processes and systems that can make one person operate like five. And it's a must. It's a necessity for us to operate that way because we have a small blueprint, physical blueprint. Like I said, at any given time, we're operating with 50 to 60, if not less people, and doing that much volume across the country. So every person has a backup. Every person can act like five because of the systems that we put in place. And as we see that we're reaching the threshold, add somebody. It's definitely difficult, given that our industry is very specialized. We made a commitment to actually train people, who haven't had industry experience, but they have the actual the grit and determination to learn the space. Sure. So,
man, that's inspiring right there, and I think that speaks to the commitment to the customer, but to the people that serve the customer too. And I value that. And I see that from you guys. So I really appreciate that. It's, the transparency in such a major entity is amazing. And I mean, of course, at the African American Chamber, Steve's name is on our wall. So he was honored in our Black Business Hall of Fame. So truly an honor. And you guys have always been a big supporter of everything that we've done, especially even in the Cincinnati Herald. So I really appreciate you for that. If you guys are just tuning in with us, you're tuning into the Influencers. We're here with Jason Hightower, CIO of Hightowers Petroleum. We are talking all things digital, okay? And if you know anything about the influencers, we're just having a conversation, okay? If we were on the radio, you would hear Let's Just Talk, okay, by Khalid. But we're just talking. And if you have questions, we are live on Facebook. Feel free to drop in, okay? I see we have Jan Michelle Lemon-Kearney watching. Jan, thank you for watching, and thank you for all that you're doing. We have Morgan Owens in the building, fellow influencer. We have Cammie Combs Montgomery in the building. Hey, Cammie, how you doing? Thank you for being here. We got J. Raj in the building. J. Raj, how you doing, man? Felicia Bell said this is awesome. What's going on, Felicia?
J. Raj just opened a station.
A station.
He's got his own BP.
Station. His own BP.
Yeah. And, I love to see stories like that, people that look like us actually getting into the space, because it's very ethnically dominated in certain areas. And to see people that look like us able to open a station, the community should definitely rally behind his product and go and purchase his services.
Most definitely. I think that it's that shared experience and that shared respect, and without community, that's impossible, and I think there's power. I know there's power in what you said. This is a third generation family company, right?
Right.
And talk to me about that.
Go ahead. Yeah, we actually started, well, I'm not going to say we because I wasn't around then, of course, but my grandfather actually started the janitorial service. And you're talking about a man that would go and put a 12-hour shift in at AK Steel, go and get all of his kids, and then go do a contract service, be it a bank building or any other commercial facility that would accept this proposal back then. And with the racial climate back then, you're also talking about somebody who walked in the room and got the 100 no's looking for the yes, and then got the yes, treated it like, it was his last opportunity every time. And even when the no's came with that little bit of extra sting, we're not going to give this contract to a black company because, you won't be able to handle this because you are who you are, as if we haven't, built the foundation of this country from the very beginning, being steadfast, saying, I'm going to build something. And then he grew to a sizable company and hired a lot of people in Middletown. So he actually hired a lot of his peers, gave job opportunities back to his community. And in the 80s, they made a switch with him and my Uncle Steve actually made a switch and went into general contract, working with the state of Ohio pretty much put out. You can become the procurement person for anything from beans to, cleaning supplies to PPE, anything. They put this list out for people that they're looking to buy from in that space. And at one point in time, the state of Ohio contract came up for fuel. And that's where Hightowers pretty much got its start in that space. And we pair with Likens Co., which is also a Cincinnati company. And they took that job from BP, which was a national figure at that time. So the rest is kind of history. It's definitely been 20 plus years of just constant grinding, constant, ups and downs and disappointments, but we've been pushing through to finally become a company that's on that global supply chain. And I tell you, we do things that, people think that we shouldn't be able to do for our size. People think that we shouldn't be able to do for where we're at, be in Middletown, Ohio. Like, where is that, number one? Exactly. Being able to take on like companies that you see pretty much in every gas station you go to, you see Coke. In every place you go, you see McDonald's. Every place, and we're servicing companies that large with little old Middletown 50 employee company. We're doing things. We're doing things that nobody thought that we could do, and it brings a lot of sense of pride. Also because my name is on it, and being able to even look forward to another generation, a fourth generation coming in to share that experience. Hopefully that will happen. We had a few that actually are interns, but hopefully it'll happen in a professional capacity. It'd just be great to see.
Man, that gives me chills, bro. That gives me chills. Like that's literally, what I came from an entrepreneurial family. My grandfather picked up trash. And I think that that's something that speaks to the testament of not only who we are, but what we are as people. I really think that, we know how to get to it, and when times get hard, we understand what we have to do. And I think that, right now is truly a testament to that. Now, let me go. We got a couple more comments. J. Rod says he appreciates y'all, Jason. Naila Edwards is in the building, fellow influencer. She said, let's go, Jourdan. Listen, if you're tuning into us and you just tuned in, we got about 14 individuals tuning in right now. We've been up to about 18, so I appreciate you guys tuning in. We're tuning into the influencers right now, powered by the Cincinnati Herald. I'm Jourdan Ivory, and we're here with Jason Hightower, CIO of Hightowers Petroleum. Okay, now, if you got some questions, drop them in the question feed, okay? And if you are watching the recap, okay, please feel free to drop them into the question feed. Let me do a little bit more housekeeping. We do the influencers every Saturday, 11 a.m., okay, till about 11:30, all right? And then 6 p.m. till about 6:30. So tune into us and let's check it out. The influencers is really all about the breadth of knowledge of the millennial Cincinnatian, truly. We are talking all things digital today, but we were talking music. We've been talking community. We've been talking education on the influencers. Morgan Owens had Candace Janae last week. We're really rocking it here with the Cincinnati Herald. Jason, tell me your top 2 favorite things to do outside of work as a young, strong Black male out here.
My top 2 favorite things to do. Well, number 1, I'll put music. I love to express myself, and it's a place where I can escape. So whether it's attending live music or making my own, being in a space where I can create or I can vibe, as you say, it definitely puts me in a good headspace to deal with all the challenges we have to deal with So music, be it concerts, in the house, whatever. My second favorite thing to do is game. And part of the reason why I won't become a streamer is because I don't want my gaming to become work, because it is my ultimate stress relief. To, you know, hop on the game. Number one, talk to the people that I don't get to see every day. You know, and get that little conversation out, even if, you know, we're running through some matches, going through some stressful situations. It also gives me a chance to critically think, try to outsmart the person that's on the other side of the fence. You know, that's a brain exercise for me. So those two things are my favorite two things. I'll throw another one in. I like to chill in the house with my wife. I know she's sitting right here, so you know I'm gonna throw that in there.
Right? Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. You know, and you know, I think that all three of those are absolutely amazing. You know, I don't think that we take enough time to really identify our own self-care and our spaces where we really have those stress reliefs. And super blessed that I got you in my homie tribe now. I'm super blessed to know you in the business world. I appreciate all that you're doing for the community as an individual, because I seen you on the Cincinnati Regional Chambers panels. I done seen you out here killing it, okay, making it really happen. And the beautiful thing is, what I know about you is that, you know, Hightowers Petroleum has sent you guys across the world to be trained and to really know and know your product and know that you can do it. And the thing is that owning that pride, having that pride in such a small team to be able to do global work says a lot. And it's inspiring. So I appreciate you being here. I think it only makes sense that we had you here on the influencers, because you are truly that, Jason. Any closing remarks before we close it out, my man?
Number one, first and foremost, I'd just like to say thank you to you for the opportunity. Thank you to the Herald. Thank you to the Chamber, all chambers. You know, the times right now are tough, and, you know, I'm not going to spend a lot of time commenting on that, but I definitely want to say that, you know, the people tuning in, I'm glad that you're here with me. I'm glad to see faces that look like mine, making impact in spaces that we typically don't see ourselves. And, you know, showing up and showing out and really performing above a quality standard which some people just find acceptable. You know, be steadfast, always lean on each other, and reach out to me. Definitely, if you ever have any questions about anything technical, let me be a voice in a region that looks like me. So I'm here to help, and that's pretty much my word.
I love it, man. I love it. Truly inspiring. I thank you for your time today. Listen, you guys got to tune back in at 6 o'clock. We got John Reese on the influencers tonight, right here on Facebook Live. Okay, the Cincinnati Herald. If you are not following the Cincinnati Herald, we may not be friends, okay? Because I need you to go to that page. I need you to hit that like button, okay? I need you to follow Cincinnati Herald on IG, on Facebook. Check us out at CincinnatiHerald.com, okay? We got a lot of great stuff. Shout out to Morgan Owens, Naila Edwards in the building today as well, our influencers. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Let me double check and make sure we don't have any other questions. I want to make sure we get everyone in. Thank you guys for tuning in. This has been a phenomenal session. Jason, thank you so much for your time. Thank you again for what you guys are doing for the community. And keep going, man. You're inspiring us all of you. So thank you, man. Thank you very much. Y'all have a good day. See you guys later.